All right, in this video we're going to talk about using a clipping mask. A clipping mask works a little bit different than the adjustment layer mask and the layer mask that we've used in previous tutorials. I'm going to give you a couple examples of how to use a clipping mask now. Notice I have two layers with this image of the cow. I'm going to create a new layer. Control-Shift-N and click OK. And I'm going to put it between those two images in my layer panel. I'd like you to think of a clipping mask working kind of the opposite of the other masks. Where we began our tutorials, we created a mask above our image layer or inside of our top layer is where we usually had our masks. This time we're going to have it underneath. It's sort of like pushing our image down into the mask instead of using the mask to reveal or cut a hole to the bottom layer. It's pushing the image down onto something. All right, that something will be some text. So I'm going to hide, or excuse me, turn the visibility off there, making sure I'm selected on the new layer. I'm also going to turn the visibility eyeball off on the bottom, but making sure my new layer is selected. I'm going to try a piece of text. So I'm going to click on the text tool, and I'm going to type the word, just a second. I'll just type in cows. Now, the reason it came in blue is my text up here is blue for the text. You don't use the color chips down the left corner. You usually use the color chip on the top options menu bar for the text color. This could easily be changed to black. I'm going to change it to black. Blue would work fine. It really doesn't matter. But I'll just change it to black. Okay. All right, so there's a piece of text. We're not going to go through all of the text features, but you can pick your font style, the size, boldness, crispness. There's a warp tool, so there's all kinds of things available. Now you notice there's a check mark here. You'll be seeing that more as we start manipulating objects and transforming text and objects. And that is just a confirm button that you want to make these changes, or you have next to it a cancel. We'll talk about 3D in another tutorial. I'm going to click on the check mark. Okay. Now I'm going to turn on my top layer, the visibility on it, and I'm going to click on the top layer itself so it's selected. Now remember, underneath is the word cows, all in black, and what we're going to do is push the image of the cow onto those letters, onto the mask underneath. This is called a clipping mask. So I'm going to go up to layer, and I'm sure there's a shortcut for this too, but go to layer, create clipping mask is right here. And then that should push the cow right onto the letters themselves. Okay, so there they go. Notice how my layers have changed. Before I merge, I'm going to double click the text layer. And when you do that, you can change the style. I might add a bevel, something like that. And you might want to just keep, let me click OK, you might just want to keep the letters that you've cut out from the image using this clipping mask for on a different image, but you might also choose something like this to turn your background layer back on. And I can't see it very well, so I could keep playing with this. I could play with the bevel and boss, or click on the effects and make it a little bit more obvious here. So I added a stroke, and there's lots of parameters or settings you can change for all of these. What's nice is you can also move this around. If I click on the move tool, the top tool, I can move that anywhere I want. So I get something like that. And I also, remember, could put this on another image. Oh, got that effect too. All right, so that's one way you can use a clipping mask. Some other ways, let me try this. I've got a picture of a photo frame right here, and inside is just black. And you can just use a black shape too. Let me duplicate the layer, Control J. I'm going to turn the bottom one off. Now, like we use for the letters, oops, a pure color black works real well for a clipping mask. And I'm going to go to the magic wand and just select the black. We haven't used the magic wand yet for much, so that's the fourth tool down. There's the quick selection brush, or tool, excuse me, and underneath it is the magic wand. I am just going to use that to select the black. Now, there's a number of ways I could put that black into a new layer. I think one easy way is Control-C for copy, and when you go Control-V, it brings it up into its own layer, for instance, right here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take a different image and push it down on top of this piece of black. So let me grab a different image I got open here. It's already selected. Control-D to deselect. Remember, a simple way to do this is just Control-A, Control-C, and I'll go to my original here, and Control-V to paste. All right, so that image is sitting on top. Now it's a little large because I want it to fit into that black box. So what I'm going to do is go up to Edit, and I'm going to go to Transform, or Free Transform. And notice that the shortcut for that is Control-T. And I use Control-T a lot for that. All right, now I can grab one of the handles. There's a little handlebar on the image, and I can drag that, go to my Move tool. Now it's asking me to check mark or click Apply. That's fine. That's still too big. I'm going to Control-T again. Get the handlebar. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Now notice I'm distorting the image, so I'm going to undo. I hope it's not. I'm going to go cancel, excuse me. And I'm going to try that again, Control-T. I'm going to hold the Shift key down so that the image's proportions stay the same. Okay, that looks good. All right. And now I'm ready to use this clipping mask effect. I'm going to go Layer. Oops, excuse me. I got to click that check mark. I have to commit to that. All right. Go Layer, Create Clipping Mask. And it puts it right into that black. And I open my bottom layer. And now I have them inside of that picture. What's neat is if I click on, I don't have to click on anything. It's the top layer is still selected. I can use my Move tool, and I can just slightly adjust that image. Or I can use my T tool, Transform tool, Control-T, and I can change the size of that a little bit, holding down my Shift key, which I forgot to do again. And so that's the idea of using clipping mask. It's sending the image down to the mask instead of using the mask to cut through to the bottom layer. So there's a lot of possibilities here for you to try with the clipping mask, either with letters or with this idea of a solid shape. In this form, it took the shape of a photo frame. All right, good luck.